Hey everybody, Whittler Dave. Well, I was asked a question today about lapboards. How do you make them? Well, lapboards is how you want them. They sit on your lap. You just, I use scrap. This is a piece of scrap pine that I couldn't use because it had so many knots in it. I had some leftover maple. Everything. This is a spoon one. This is a spoon because I just want a spoon. But this has a divot in it. I set this on my lap and I can carve spoons. I carved this one out this morning and I can sit here and carve the shank on it and everything. And then what this is a pressure fit. Put your spoon on there. You step on, there's like a little pedal right here, and you step on this and it pulls out. I'll show you here in a minute how I use this and everything. This is a piece of Lennox. It's very soft. It's not very good wood to carve with. And then I've been using the bench. I did bring it in here into the shop. I normally don't carve in here with the shop with this bench because it just makes a horrendous mess. Let's try to get you down here where you can see it. Hang on, folks. Gotta turn you back around. Okay, hang on. Oh. Got to get this thing tightened up. I apologize, folks. You know me. I ain't the greatest. But like I said, it's just, it's my bench that I built. I traveled all over Tennessee with this. And, I cut the wedges out. And then there's the spoons. Made out of this Lennox here. Like I said, it's not the greatest. But what I do, I'll do a couple cuts and everything. It's just, take a hatchet. I cut it all out. Shape the spoon the way I want. I don't have no patterns. I just draw the spoon. Very simple. Very, very simple. You can dry that spoon into this right here. And grab my little hatchet that fell off. Push back down here. Built this bench a long time ago. I built several types of benches, but I like this one. It has storage in it. All this down here lifts up. The seat lifts up. I can keep first aid in there, and I can keep my phone or my money in there. I'm just carving out the handle, getting it roughed out. That spoon there took there's about 20, maybe 25 minutes to get to that stage. And I do use coping saws, hand saws. I let the wood talk to me. I don't force it or nothing. Yeah. There's the spoon right there. Just getting a little shape here. We're not going to carve all this one because, like I said, and soft wood like this dulls my hatchet very fast. Something about the soft wood just dulls it. This has a lot of spalding in it. It's not very hard at all. It's real punky. You'll make a pretty spoon. It will. All the figure in it. Yeah. This spoon's going to be curved. Yeah, see? It's going to have that curve right there and there and everything. And like I said, I'll use the coping saw and put some reliefs in it so I don't split the spoon coming down to the bowl. That's very easy to do. So just make you a couple of little reliefs. And that way when you come right down to it, it looks very funky wood. Oh yeah. Let's see. Let's do a little bit more, and I'll show you what that spoon, the lapboard does with the spoon. Oh yeah. Got that big maple leaf cut out. Once I get somebody to help video it, I will. I want to carve that strictly on YouTube channel and everything. One thing I don't teach is hatchet carving. Taught myself years ago. Watched the guy do it all the time. Picked it up. And everything. You can see the crank of the spoon right there. Getting that bow in there. Oh, Lordy. I gotta do these for that church. So I thought I'd get some of them made out. I've got some wooden bows made. You know, a spoon and wooden bows was made out of necessity years ago. And we didn't have fancy big box stores back then, so our settlers would grab whatever was out in the woods and cut them out of spoon. And I do have smoke shavers, raw knives, but we get it roughed in with this little thing. You can see the handle starting to form right there. The old hander. Yes, everybody asks me, Wither Dave, are you afraid of cutting yourself? Really, the only time I cut myself with a hatchet is when I'm putting it away. That's no joke. I cut myself that little hatchet the other day, setting it up on the workbench. I wasn't even using it, I was just moving it. Yes. Oh yeah. She's starting to take shape. We'll do a little bit more. What the heck? I'll have to get out my shovel, clean up my shop. Oh yes. Let's see, I need my marking stick. Just mark you a shape on here that your eye can follow is all you need. And I'm gonna bring this handle out just a little bit fatter, like that. Like this, like that. Yeah. And then we're gonna cut that off there. We don't need that at all. Yes. She's starting to talk. Yeah. See, I've got a divot right here. And I stick that spoon in there, and it helps it from moving so much. Yes, it does. Just got to be very mindful when you do something like this. Oh yeah. I hope everybody can see this. Without somebody here shooting the video, it's very hard for me. I have to watch my fingers. See, this little hatchet here is just for detail work. See, I've lined all that up. Bigger hatchet has got weight to it. It's got mass. crank in there a little bit. Then we go into whittling him, if you want to call it. I call it carving. I gotta carve all this out with a knife. But they call it whittling. I don't call this really whittling. But that's just me. I don't want to confuse anybody. I'll lose that point in a minute. But I've been using that point to pivot with. The reason I ain't took it off yet. I was cooking gumbo one day and needed a gumbo spoon, bigger one than I had, so I stopped for a few minutes, went out here to my shop. About 30, 40 minutes later, I come back in the house and I had my gumbo spoon. I needed a longer spoon, wider. Like I said, I don't worry about buying too much. I feel that that's too light. I'll go in here and I'll clean all this up with a knife. A little bit more hatchet work occasionally. Maybe a little draw knife. There's a lot more work to do this. I like it. It's going to have that little bend to it, little weird shape. Like I said, I don't blueprint them at all. I just make them. Our settlers back then didn't have blueprints. They just whittled out a spoon. If they didn't have a hatchet, they just used a knife. I've done that many times. Alrighty. Woo, if you could only see this mess. Woo! Is it a bad one? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, there you go. Tell that spoon has been cut off. Put just a little bend into that. See? Just a simple little bend. A lot more thinning down here on the handle. But we're getting to the point where it's going to be knife work. Knife work. Now I want to just lose a little bit more right here. And we got to crank it right here. So let's cut that crank in there, and then I'll show you what this lapboard does. Let's see here. Blade's getting dull, folks. I'll change that out. See, just simple. That's all that is. Just a simple little spoon. And like I said, let me grab my knife. It fell. Like I said, then now it's just knife work. Just a simple little knife, getting it cleaned up, shaping it. Then you got to bow it. Some people bow it before they cut the spoon out. I've done it both ways. Lord, I don't know which way is the best. I'm just an old carver. Very simple. It's kind of roughing it in so you guys can see that. But anywho, excuse me, folks. And like I said, all it started out with was just this log. Right there. That's all that was. Alright, let's turn you around here and everything. Let's bring you down a smidge. Turn. There you go. Let's get this out. And I want to, this gentleman asked me, about lapboards and stuff. So, I have several different ones that I use. I mainly use them for spoon carving because I just carve on my lap. I have since I've been knee-high to a grasshopper. I'm very comfortable with that and I feel very safe doing it. Okay, let's get this spoon out. And some people will take a lapboard like this. Let's get you down here. And they'll put a strap around it and it can hook to your backside. It's all up to you when you build a lapboard. There's no blueprints. If you want a lapboard or whatever, make you one. Now, let's try to get you back up here. Trying to get you where you can see this. And you can see I put that in there. Now, I'm just going to step on this little, and you've got to justify your rope, your length of your legs and all that. Pull that little thing right up there. Now, she is good and tight. And see, I've got a V here. I got a 45 right here. And she is tight. She's not going to go anywhere. So now, I can come in here. I can bow this. And my hands are free. This is a new one. My other one wore out, so there's always improvements. Always improvements. I forgot to, I need to add 2 little boards right here on the side. That'll keep this thing from moving side to side. And that's easy. I wear these out all the time. See, but my hands are free. And I'm just bowing this thing out. That's all I'm doing. She's not punky in here, she's tight. But this wood's been drying for over 3 years up in my barn, so she's gonna be hard in a lot of places. Well, look what happened. That's what happens sometimes. It broke. But this was just a demonstration. Yep, it happens. It broke on the shank. It's too thin, and I broke the shank. That's all right. You've got the idea. You know, when you use one of these, things happen. You can't worry about it. You know, we just start all over. This was just a rough demonstration, and she broke right here on the shank. I had it too thin and everything, and that's what happens. But you got the gist of idea. What I was trying to do is show you how you can dish this out by using a lapboard and everything. And, you know, like I said, you can't cry over spilt milk. You can't. And the other lapboard, what I use, is this one here. And everything. Oh. And I mainly, now when I want to clean these handles up, I can use this. I can use my little lapboard. Let's try not to break this one, folks, you know. Well, it's punky and it's very soft in places. So, I was putting a lot of downward pressure on it. That's what broke it and everything. And then inside the thing was extremely hard. So, it happens. That's the thing about woodworking. Don't let it beat you up. If it happens, it happens. You can't cry over spilt milk, folks. You can't. It happens. Yep. And I want people to know, you know, I'm not perfect. We all have mistakes. Oh well. I'll make out another one. And everything. Oh yes. I like how that handle's starting to fit my hand. See, I've got to stop right here. And everything that I can put these spoons in. Like I said, I will round this off. This is going to be a weird little handle. I like how it fits so far. I do. It's a little thick right here. I'm going to try to keep some of this roundness. And I have spoon knives. You know, I have all that. I'm glad that, you know, it broke with me here than trying to sell it to somebody and they're using it and it broke at home. It's the shank. Shank, I cracked it just by downward pressure. That's what I did. Okay. Downward pressure took it out. Oh well. Like I said, you can't cry over spilled milk. But I hope I explained these lapboards to people. You just make a lapboard to fit you. You know, you don't worry about, there's no right, there's no wrong. There's a guy, I think it was in Australia, his lapboards, he put a strap on it so he could strap it all the way around his back. It went all the way around, And he was making them like that. And that's a good idea, if that's what you want. But I turned my wood so much, it wouldn't work for me. But I moved too much. You know? I moved way too much. Now we're just into the knife work. Getting all of this shaped up with the knife. Hopefully we can not break this spoon, right? This shank here is a lot thicker. Where I cranked it at, it's a lot thicker. And I don't know how this one is, because this ain't a very good wood to make a spoon out of. I know that. Lenox is not a very good wood or nothing. But it's good wood to do a demonstration on. I've got some sapele, persimmon, walnut, cherry. I'm probably going to get them down, and I'll be using them for this show I'm going to be doing. I just grabbed this morning. You know, you never know. Kind of an organic handle I like. This is pretty neat. Like it was a tree branch or something. It probably was. Alrighty. Need to get my big knife out. I got to sharpen it. It moves my bulk. Let's see how dull it is. It's probably pretty dull. I do a little bit. I can put more weight with this. Well, like I said, lap boards is any type of board that you want. You fit your needs to it, the width, the length, how you want it, all that. I've seen people put little tiny press down vices on lap boards. Like I said, the guy in Australia, he makes a strap for his, and it can strap to you if you like that. Downward pressure like I have on mine, you know, made that just a while ago because my other one was wore out. There's some improvements. That's with any kind of thing you build. You know, looks good on paper, folks, until you build it. And then you got to figure out why. I think I may put a piece of leather down on the back of it, and that will help take some of the shock out when I drive a mallet to carve out these bows. Because it was just hitting on the wood tremendously. And it was absorbing a lot of shock. Maybe I'll put a piece of leather down to absorb the shock. You know, we'll try that. And see if that will help and everything. Let's see. This weird little spoon. I make coffee spoons and all that stuff. Anyhow, let me show you something here. A guy asked me the other day to show that angel again. So I thought, okay. Alright, there she is. There's the angel. He asked if I would show it again. Very simple. I got another one I just did, and she's going to have a pink style dress on her. She's just very, very simple. I love my angels. I do. Well, let's get you up here. I don't want to run this video too long. And I got a big mess, folks. Oh, do I ever got a big mess. I do. Well, like I said, folks, you can't cry over spilt milk. It broke. It would have been a pretty spoon, but it broke. Yeah, okay. It's here. Just throw it trash can. You know, can't worry about it. That's life. Things happen in life. It all looks good on paper, and then, excuse me, folks. Then it just happens. You know, can't let it bother you. It's happened to me before. I had one that was made out of solid walnut, beautiful spoon, and I broke the handle on it. Now, that one kind of hurt because that thing was just almost done, and I really carved it thin for a reason, and I just put too much pressure on it, and it was done. Yeah, it was my fault, and I'm like, oh, Lord. You can't glue it back together because then it's not non-usable. And I make my spoons to be able to be used. I cook in wooden spoons, and they're functional. Just like it was back in during the settlers. So, like I said, don't worry about it if it happens. Just clean up the mess and live and learn. Like I said, I think I'm going to put a piece of leather down to absorb some of the shock when I drive that. And then if I use the fuzzy side up, that'll give me some more drag, and that'll keep it from moving. And I got to put my 2 blocks in because I forgot to put the blocks on there when I made that one a while ago. And that'll keep it from going side to side and everything. But anywho, I just want to say thank you all again, and for subscribing. Remember, it's free. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe to my channel and everything. Everybody really liked the carving channel, show what carving and whittling was. Like I said, I got this great big maple leaf. I'm getting ready to it's all by hand. It'll be carving, it'll be knife work, hatchet, adze, all that stuff. We're going to be doing it here outside. I got to get somebody to help me to shoot the video and everything, because it'll make a massive amount of mess. And right now my shop looks like a bomb went off, and I had it cleaned. I got some people coming in, I think around 4th of July, so I want to get the shop back cleaned up and everything, and wait for these people to come in and everything. So just want to say thank you all. You all have a blessed day, and I deeply appreciate everyone that has subscribed to my channel. Thank you again. I'll talk to you later.